Hello, my name's Tom. I'm a farrier, and a farrier is an individual who manages horses' hooves through trimming and shoeing. Today we're going to be trimming a horse. I'd like to give him a nice pet, let him know what I'm doing, and my world pretty much is down here at the bottom of this hoof, which we're just going to clean out this dirt. They'll collect through walking around. It gives me a good look at what I have to do. Now we're just going to scrape out. We have some dead sole here, some dead hoof. Basically what we're going to do, similar to trimming our toenails, is just take off that excess growth, but at the meantime also keeping in mind that we want to keep this hoof capsule here in balance. So we have a nice flat and level foot. Take our nippers here.
Now, does this hurt them?
Nope. The area of the foot we're working in has no feeling. If we were to go down too deep, we would probably we would hit some sensitive tissue, so try to be careful not to take too much off. But basically this is very similar to trimming your fingernails. Right now I'm using my rasp, take off smaller amounts and keep our foot flat. Because one thing I'm trying to keep in mind is not just today, but tomorrow when this horse goes walking around, or the next day, we're trying to manage this foot over a period of weeks. Typically, horses' feet need to be trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks. Trim a little bit more of this toe off, kind of bring in the circumference of this foot. If we have too much hoof hanging out there, it's just going to crack and split. And we want to make sure we have all of our edges rounded up. Don't want any sharp edges they're going to catch themselves with, or maybe another horse, or when someone goes to pick up the foot. And then also those sharp edges are they're prone to chipping and cracking. And
now, do you trim all horses' feet the same, or does it just depend on the horse?
It depends on the horse. We're going to trim and balance those horses' feet based on their conformation, what type of terrain they might be on. So everybody is getting basically a custom trim. We're trimming the hoof based on that individual horse. We're just going to kind of sight for balance. We're a little high on the outside here, so we're going to knock that heel down. This right here, this triangle is called the frog, and that actually acts as a blood pump for the horse. Sometimes I'll set the foot down to take a look at it. That looks pretty good. So this is obviously a front hoof, which they bear 60% of their weight on their front feet, and therefore take generally more of a rounder shape. They hold their body up, kind of like posted in the hind foot that we're going back to now. As I do that, I always like just pet them, let them know I'm here. It's kind of a blind spot, but their hind feet are a little more pointed. They only bear 40% of their weight on the hind feet. And typically, with being a little more pointed, more of a narrower shape, it allows them to get a little bit extra traction so they can drive from behind. And same thing basically as the front, more or less. We're just going to pick out this foot real quick, take out some of our dead sole, trim a little of that dead frog off. The frog is kind of a rubbery texture, and we just want to make sure that there's nothing that's hanging off that frog that's going to catch on maybe a root or a rock or just scraping on the ground. Going to basically do the same process, taking off. So we've got a lot of toe here on this foot. Take off some of that toe.
Why is it so important to have their feet trimmed so often?
Well, it can result in, we can get an extra bacteria building up. We've created a good cup there for bacteria to settle into mud. But then more importantly, balance. If we weren't to trim these feet, they would continue to grow and grow and grow, and basically it would be like walking around eventually with like scuba flippers or clown shoes on, and we wouldn't they would just have trouble getting around, and then let alone trying to ride cause them to stumble, cause different lamenesses. That's a lot of extra torque on tendons and ligaments. It's a lot more force on joints. We'll start to get cracking here and there. You can see where there's just a little bit of a crack now, which is pretty common. That's some normal surface wear right there. We can see kind of in the toe where we take it off. That was right there. We were going to start getting some bacteria in there, but luckily we're trimming them now and looks will be fine.
Now, if we were to shoe them, does it hurt them?
It does not. We place our nails in what's called the white line here, an insensitive structure of the hoof that holds in tight. And other than the slight tapping that they might just not care for, that moving of their leg, there's no discomfort. It often looks barbaric to anybody who hasn't seen it, but doesn't cause any discomfort to the horse. And some horses that need shoes often find relief after getting their shoes put on. Typically, we'd shoe a horse for 3 different reasons. The first reason would be the horse's hoof is worn more than it can grow. So basically, right now this horse has grown some toe, but say this horse was being ridden quite often. If it was starting to wear too much, the horse would start to become tender because it's going to wear past the insensitive structures to the sensitive structures. Another reason we might, so basically just, the shoe helps give that horse some protection. Another reason we might shoe that horse is maybe a competitive edge. That horse just needs a little extra traction, whether it be for rodeo, barrel racing, maybe even just cross-country riding. And then the third would be therapeutic. Maybe there's something we're trying to need, that hoof needs extra protection. If there's something we're trying to fix with that horse, whether a gait fault, maybe this foot overreaches too much and hits the front foot. There's a lot of different problems we're trying to solve with shoes for different hoof issues, which are countless, unfortunately.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.